If you're listening, hands in the air. If you're listening, touch your nose. If you're listening, touch your ears. If you're listening, touch your toes. All right, so do we have to go over head, shoulders, knees, and toes, or are we good to go to start? Okay, awesome. Okay, let's rock and roll. That's a loud microphone. Woo! So just notice how you feel. So just notice how you feel when you're watching this video. And this is your workshop, so you get to be as childish and as immature as possible. If someone around you is talking, feel free to turn at them and go, shh, because there's no consequences for you here. Ready, set, go. When was the last time that you busted out laughing so much that you can't even breathe? Okay, good. Yesterday? Awesome. Love it. Go find me an AV guy. See, that's what the funny part is. How many of you went, aw, as this kid is choking his friend? Yeah, and then notice what he does. See, he goes like this. He goes off and gives him a little elbow. How many of you have ever had one of your kids that runs up, grabs onto a child, starts squeezing them, and the kid's like this? And their eyes are about to bug out of their head, and I look to one of my students and I go, does that feel good? And they go, no. I'm like, do you like when they're doing that? No. Like, did you know that you can tell them to stop? Really? And the look on and the kids' faces is amazing. So just want to let you know is, notice how some things we perceive it a certain way, but if we take an extra step, we'll notice it's not exactly what we want it, what we think it is. I'll show you one more time. Watch the kid. Watch how happy he is. And then he's got his friend that looks at him and goes, you are way too happy. I need to shut this down. Do you have somebody like that in your life? Are they sitting right next to you? Because don't point at them, whatever, whatsoever. By the way, these balloons are not just balloons to stare at. You can like hit them across the room, put them up to somebody's ear, pop it, whatever you want to do. I'm not responsible for any of your actions. Watch. So he's like, yay. Now watch the elbow right here. Watch the elbow. Bam! Off! Good for that kid. Last year I did Yogarati at the conference where we're teaching kids martial arts, so hopefully some of you took the Yogarati, show it with your kids, and teach them how to actually protect themselves and defend themselves. And by the way, that echoey sound, I'm waiting for what's it called to show up? What are they called? Human? Okay, cool. By the way, notice that I started exactly at 9 o'clock because you're here. How many of you go to presenters and then you get there on time and then they say, I'm going to wait 5 more minutes for the people that don't respect your time to show up, and then I'm going to start with them and give them acknowledgement. Doesn't work here. Absolutely not. Do you hear that? Yeah. Thank you, my love. Notice where the dog is. Can you guys still hear me in the back? I like the people in the front answered for them. Anybody have kids in life that do fake behaviors to get attention? Anybody married to them? Okay, good. All right, let's do some spinal stretching to move you guys around a little bit because the body and the mind are all connected. So everybody grab on to your hands. Oh, you guys are standing too. Good for you. That's awesome. Good. You don't have to stand, but if you want to, that's fine. Sure, block the person behind you. That's all good. Be like to go to a wrestling show and have a big sign. Okay, now, this is called spinal stretching. So all we're going to do, we're going to look up, breathe in, elbows up. Everybody survive? Okay, good. Now, tuck your chin in, breathe out, bring your elbows down. Let's do 5 of these. Go. Breathe in, out. Just like that. Okay, good. Little energy in your body. I read in a book somewhere that the spine is important. So it's the antenna of the universe. So I want you to make sure that you keep your spine moving, especially when you hear a child go, wah! And you turn your head like that. But if your spine and your neck aren't warmed up and you wonder why this vertebrae goes that way when your neck goes that way. So it's important to warm up your bodies. And everybody that comes to the workshop and fills out an evaluation, you're going to get 3 months free access to our online library that has a whole entire stretching and strengthening video that you can do. And don't do any of the stretches at home. That's your free time. As soon as you come in and you punch in, or if you're family child care, walk downstairs, whatever, then, do those stretches there. Okay, one more stretch to open up your lungs, help you sing a little bit, because we will be doing singing if you want. And for those of you that are not into singing, you're not allowed to sing. Okay, grab onto your wrist, breathe in, breathe out, and gently, your own wrist, miss. Okay, whatever. And now gently just pull this way. That's it. All I want you to do is just pull. Thank you, sir. And breathe in, and breathe out. And breathe in. Now pull a little bit more. Now, if your brain is telling you it's more important for you to take pictures of me stretching than you actually stretching, consider your brain is sabotaging you and lying at you. It happens all the time. Breathe in, breathe out, and pull. How many of you have a voice in your head? The voice that talks at you, evaluates you, judges you, compares you to everybody else? Breathe in, breathe out, pull a little more. Tells you have at least 1 pound of weight to lose every morning. Okay, relax, and just put that arm down. Oh, grab onto your other wrist. Breathe in, breathe out, and gently pull. All these stretches and things I'm going to show you, so I want you to actually use them during the workshop and throughout the day, just in case you feel tired, you want to get some air, some breathing. Breathe in, breathe out. Pull a little bit more. And just all the stretching in your side body that's happening, all the muscles around your ribs. Every time you sneeze, you cough, you hiccup, it tightens those muscles. Breathe in, breathe out, and pull a little bit more. How many of you, your brain's telling you enough stretching, you don't deserve it, go do something else? That's fine, that's okay. Especially you people pleasers out there. One more time, pull, breathe in, breathe out, and then just come back. Awesome. Check in how you feel. Yay! Nice. All right. We're starting good. Let's get see a little more energy. Nice. So I'm getting some people maybe have only been around on the planet for like 30 years, so we'll change it a little bit. How about this one? How many of you wanted to keep singing and then your voice started talking at you and you stopped singing? How many of you believe you have a bad singing voice? Raise your hand. How many of you believe you have a bad singing voice? You've gone to a concert, you've met 40,000 other people with bad singing voices, and everybody starts singing together. It becomes one beautiful bad singing voice. So that's how it's going to go here. I just got to find the right genre. Yeah! All right. You may want to shower. How many of you have seen this lady?
So, here we go. I gotta take off my glasses for it. Naturally. Okay, here you go.
Naturally. She answered her voice in her head.
Now watch for my mouth actually moves. That's not me making my noise, it's the mask.
That is the face of joy. That might have been your face when you walked into your first day of preschool and you went, I can't wait to see my kids. Now it's, I can't wait till it's 6 o'clock. Oh, so a lot of you are like nodding, like preach. There you go. Okay, cool. How many of you have seen this before? Awesome. Anybody want to come up here? And we clean this after every time. Did we clean it last time? Okay, good. Awesome. Anybody want to just come up here, put this on, and come all the way back there. There you go. Okay. Oh, she had her hand up. There. Did you have your hand up? Oh, okay, cool. Awesome. Here, feel free to put this on. Cash money, Sasha Banks. There you go. Sorry, Mercedes Monet. And now look at them. Don't look at me. I know what you look like. Start talking. Teach the class.
Teach a class?
All right, you're awesome. Give her a round of applause. All right, I'm going to sterilize it again. Okay, cool. Awesome. So, I know some of you are hoping for a PowerPoint presentation and you don't really know what's happening right now. That's fine. This is called unprofessional development. Okay, it's the opposite of professional development, so just letting you know. Yeah! I don't even know what happened, but I like it. Okay. Finish this sentence. You get what you get. Wow, it didn't even take you half a second. You might have been, some of you like sort of like asleep or on the phone, like, and you get what you get, you don't get upset, like that. How long did it take you to respond? Half a second. So it's automatic. It's like you're triggered to say it, right? It's just something that automatically happens. Now, when we say this to a child, and I don't know if you were here super early or watching videos of me teaching the kids. Is my microphone still on back there? Yeah, back there? Okay, cool. Well, I'm asking, hello, testing, 1, 2, 2 turntables, Anna. Okay. Yay. All right, awesome sauce. So when you say you get what you get and you don't get upset, or you get what you get and you don't throw a fit to a child, how do you say it? Do you say it like this? One of the kid comes up, I want 5 more minutes on the computer. Do you look at the child, take a breath, and say, my child, you get what you get, and you don't get upset. Namaste to you. And then you go, do you say it like that, or are you like, you know your face is like, you get what you get, and you don't get upset? And like you're thinking about your significant other? Does that benefit the child at all? No. Okay, so why do we say that to a child? Why do we say so many different things? My background, I started on martial arts school in 2004. I started a professional speaker. I started learning how to work with kids through a karate school. The husband was an elementary school teacher. The wife was a preschool teacher. For 2 years, I learned how to work with the preschool kids, and then I stepped into my own classroom at a preschool. And it was awesome because at the karate school, I tell the kids what to do, and they would do it. And they would say, yes, sir, and yes, ma'am. Kind of like your kids, right? Okay. And then I walked into the preschool, and I'm just like, everyone do this, everyone do that. And I had a kid that looked at me and went, no! And just started running around in circles. Now, so you know how you were triggered to say you get what you get and you don't get upset? When I say triggered, we use that word a lot. But really, that's what it is. If you just say it, you have no choice. It's like someone just pushes a button on you. So I immediately reacted to that child, and my ego, my brain went, oh, that kid's not focused. He's not respectful. He's not. My brain just started talking words at me. He's not focused. He's not respectful. He's not this. But I also, in 2001, did this amazing seminar called the Landmark Forum. They don't even advertise it, but it's a beautiful, amazing seminar, and it teaches you how to kind of notice what's happening in your brain so you can also connect with your heart. Notice when we were watching the videos how much we were in our heart as opposed to our brain. So then all of a sudden I took a breath and I looked at that child and my heart said, that's you. And I went, oh, yeah! Like I was a terror. I was kicked out of school. I was this, I was that. So I'm like, okay, let me try to figure out a way how to get these kids to choose to change their behaviors because they want to. How many of you like to do what other people tell you to do? Okay, one person. Okay, awesome. From this point on, you're not allowed to raise your hands in the air because I said so. How many of you are fighting with your brains right now? I like that. And some people, it's okay. And some people just put their hands up. Other people, like, I'll follow my directions, and they go like this. And then if I look at, and in their brain, their inner child's going, I put my hand up, you didn't catch me, blah, blah, blah. There's so many things that we do that it doesn't make sense to me if we want the kids to benefit from it. We do things, if we want the kids to benefit from it, then there's different things that we can do. How about this one? I loved watching this one as I'm setting up my classes and teachers are with their kids. Are you making good choices today? Are we making good choices today? And the kids are looking up at the teacher confused, like, what are you talking about? I made 17 choices in the last 20 minutes. Can you be a little more specific? Anybody ever say that? So notice, what's happening is we have been programmed to speak in win-lose. You say you get what you get and you don't get upset, there's no benefit to the child. You win. And I'll tell you what you win in a moment. How about this one? No thank you. No thank you, Joe. No thank you. Anybody ever do that? No thank you. And the kid's looking at you like, no thank you what? Like what's all the kids are, no thank you. Like what am I doing? You're not out. Like imagine you're driving and all of a sudden you get pulled over. And the cop knocks on your window, whatever, down. I said roll it down, old school car, okay? And they go, license and registration, no thank you. And then they just go. And you're sitting there like, what are you talking, what's happening? What did I do? And then they come back with 3 tickets. Here you go, license, registration, 3 tickets, no thank you. And then they go. Did you learn anything? No. So why do we say that to kids? It's because we're stuck. Because this is a chemical computer. And it's addicted to a chemical that our body releases. Anybody ever hear of dopamine? So every single time you say you get what you get and you don't get upset, are you making good choices? No thank you. What did I tell you? What do we talk about? It doesn't benefit the kid. It benefits you. Why? Because you are right. Oh, somebody just sat up in excitement. Yeah! How many of you like to be wrong? Raise your hand. How many of you like to be right? Raise your hand. See, look at his hand. I didn't even say about what. It doesn't matter. We just love being right. There's people in life that don't have relationships with people anymore because it's more important for them to be right than for them to be happy. So just consider, whenever you say from this point on, whenever you say to a child, you get what you get and you don't get, you're choosing to be right, make the child wrong, you get a hit of dopamine, and the child gets no benefit from you. And it's fine. It's okay because we do that sometimes. Sometimes we just take actions, but if you can't be aware of what's going on, if you're trying to lose weight and you're not aware that the dozen donuts for breakfast menu that you have every day isn't working for you, then you're not going to stop doing it. So just consider there's win-lose that we're programmed to be in, and then there's win-win. I was reading this this poet laureate, Sir Reginald Bobby once said, if you're not first, you're last. Okay, it was Ricky Bobby. Anybody? Some of you looked really, really confused at this point. Okay, so I want to do something a little different. Let me just... Dun, 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 dun. I will never forget the video of him trying to justify how he ripped them off. When he's like, my video is like this. My video goes din 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 din, and then he goes, Queens goes din 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 din. And people are like, yeah. And then he made a lot of money. All right. So this is a basketball game. This is a basketball. By the way, everybody in the back, there are a lot of seats up in the front. I know you don't want to take them. Just letting you know there are seats up in the front. Okay, cool. So how do you win in basketball? You get more points than the other team. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So watch what's going to happen here. So what is number 10? This kid over here is number 10. What does he do? He throws the ball into the hoop because that's what he's supposed to do. Try to win. Absolutely 100%. Number 50 is playing a different game. He's playing basketball, but right now his focus isn't to get the ball into the hoop and to get 2 points. His focus is to help number 0 get the ball into the hoop. Now, any other situation you wouldn't have had, win-win. Either the white team would have won and the white team's parents and family would have been happy as the blue team's, or the opposite. But what number 50 is going to do is help create such a magical moment that the whole entire auditorium is going to explode. And when number 0 throws the ball into the hoop, I ask you, notice what happens here. Notice when I'm talking with my voice, where's the focus? Up here in the brain, you're listening. That's what traditional education is. Brain, brain, brain. Test, test, quiz, quiz, brain, brain, brain. There's not as much heart training out there. There slowly is more, especially when you go in companies. Anybody know somebody that works in an organization that they have a chief heart officer? Ever hear that? Like their sole purpose of a chief heart officer is just to make sure and take care of the well-being of the staff. Imagine if like every organization had a chief heart officer that walked around. Did you breathe today? Did you do your stretching today? Great. Anything you want to talk about to get off your chest before you go and deal with 15, 20 kids? But that's corporate. So now, so watch number 10. What would you do? How many of you, now this is also, I want to see where the liars are. How many of you would shoot the ball into the basket? How many of you would really shoot into basket, but you don't want to raise your hand because you don't want to be judged by the people around you because your brain is telling you that they're going to shoot the ball not into the basket, but give it to the other one, so you don't want them to judge you, so then anybody have that? Anybody have that? Like you're afraid of being judged? Yeah. Anybody not taking any actions in their life? Anyone not being passionate, not following a dream or pursuing something because you're afraid of being judged? Maybe by people that are older than you. They're judging you, they're evaluating you, they're telling you should do this job, do this career, date this person, have this religious belief, have this belief. Yeah, all the time. All the time it happens. How's that working? It's not. Okay, cool. By the way, so my background, why I love performing and being silly, I was a pro wrestler for 15 years. My parents helped me become a pro wrestler. You know how they did it? Because we're going to talk about oppositional kids a little bit later. So my mom told me I can't be a pro wrestler. And then she's not going to push me around in a wheelchair for the rest of my life. So, of course, my oppositional stuff, I'll show you. Okay, and then my dad wanted to make it even better. He drove me to a wrestling school so I would fall and get hurt. But ever since I saw Hulk Hogan, bless you, bless you, bless you, bless you, bless you. And for a couple extra, there you go. So she's doing the vampire. At least that's nice. So ever since I was 13 and I saw Hulk Hogan getting interviewed, I went, I don't know what this is, but I want to do it. I started gymnastics, started martial arts, started improv classes, started comedy. All these different things. I was more committed to being a pro wrestler than anything else in the world. Staring out the window. How many of you stared out the window in school going, why do I need to learn this? Why am I here? Blah, blah, blah. Why can't I do the stuff that I want to do? So you can actually do that. And if you take on an aspect of your life that you haven't tried on before, you're going to be happier, which is then going to let the other kids be happy. Does that make sense? Because if you're a parent that just conditions your children, do what I say, not as I do, blah, 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 when they're going away to college, what do you think's happening? They're going to try everything that you told them not to, and everyone. Okay, so now. Oh, I didn't do my politically correct disclaimer. I cannot do anything politically correct. This is not a politically correct space that I hold. Why? How many of you, your brain's already talking at you? Okay, just curious. For me to do something politically correct means I need to psychically read every single one of your minds, know every single thing that's happened to you in your life so that I don't say something that offends you. Is that anywhere near possible, even 1%? But how many of you know people like that take on victim mode? And just choose to be offended. Anybody have someone in their life, they get offended for other people and they're not even there? It's amazing. And that's okay, because when they do it, they make you wrong. They're right. They feed themselves a shot of dopamine, and that's it. You are your own drug dealers, and you get high on your own supply all day. I'll give you a perfect example. I watch The Wire. I know how it works. Ready? I'm going to give you a perfect example of your dopamine. Ready? I'm going to give you a math problem. How many of you, your brain just started making up a story about it? Okay, ready? Yell out the answer if you know it. 2 + 2. Good job. And notice how you feel. And I see smiles. And now I'll pause for a second so your brain can go, that was easy. Why are you so happy? And shut down your own happiness. It does that all the time. Anybody ever meet somebody that goes, it's not normal to be happy all the time? Look at their face. Think about it. Is it that they're really not, is it that they're happy and it's too much happiness, or they just don't have access to happiness? All right, so they're not understanding that there's options in life and you can choose win-win over win-lose. I just heard a song or something. That was awesome. Okay, cool. All right, so now, this kid over here on the blue team. Now, how many of you are ready? You feel that? Yeah. What would it be like if we stayed in this longer and we stayed out of here more? It would be amazing. And you could totally do that with your kids as long as your brain doesn't interfere. That's what the whole behavior mastery is about. Having fun with your kids on a way that benefits everybody. Now, this kid on the opposite team, could he have run over and just knocked the ball out of his hand? Yeah, he's not going to do that. Why? Because he understands win-win is happening. Could Zuckerberg Jr. over here like run up and knock the ball out of his hand? Absolutely, but he's not going to because he's present. He's present, he's awake to win-win. There's only one person here that doesn't even see, by the way, this is just my opinion, he doesn't even see that win-win is happening because he's so programmed, he's so stuck in win-lose, just like us humans. We're all programmed. How many of you, your voice in your head said, I'm not programmed? Cool, ready? Ba-da-ba-ba-ba! There you go. What's that? Oh yeah, everything's marketing. There's $1 billion industry for marketing out there. Marketing and trying to manipulate you, which is, that's great. You don't have a chance, but, it's fine. How fast did number 10 just respond? Was it, I'm going to show you, I'm going to do it one more time just in case someone was looking down for a moment. Okay, watch number 10. Boom! Do you think it was a thought out thought, like he's about to go for the ball, so I'm going to do it? Or do you think it might have been a trigger? Might have been a reaction? Might have been reactionary? Does he have a choice to respond like that? No, he doesn't. 85-90% of your day, you run automatic and negative patterns over and over because that's just the way that we're designed over and over and over. What I'd love for you to do is to recognize if you're a person like number 50 that plays in win-win, good for you. I acknowledge you. Let's do that more. If you're noticing that you're number 10, stuck in win-lose, upset, angry, talking down at people, whatever the situation is, it's okay. If you start connecting with your heart more, it'll be much more wonderful, and the challenge is getting out of your brain. So I'm going to give you one sentence that I heard a while ago that is so beautiful. I want you to ask yourself one question. Ready? And let me just, I'm going to do a pattern interrupt real quick just to make sure everyone's paying attention. Awesome. Okay. Ask yourself this question in your brain. Ready? I wonder what my next thought will be. Go ahead, do it. What happens? How many of you, your brain just went blank? How many of you, that voice finally shut off after decades? Yeah, so use that whenever you want. Your brain, by the way, is not going to like me. Your heart is going to love me by the time this is over, I hope. Okay? Why? Because I want you to stay in your heart more. So anytime you start getting frustrated or upset, if you can, for a moment, just ask yourself, I wonder what my next thought will be. It shuts off the brain and opens up the heart, because the heart is where wonder is. So if you can do that over and over, it'll help you get more access to shutting down your triggers once they happen. It's not going to be, you can't not be triggered. It doesn't work that way. Whatever trauma, whatever things happen to you from ages 1 all the way up to now, these are just all in the background running you all the time. How many of you get road rage? How many of you don't? Okay, so some of you got triggered by something or something happened and now you're upset at other people. Others aren't. We're all different. It's just going in time. By the way, I offer free coaching to everybody forever when it comes to things like this and behavior, because I want you to be able to see if all of a sudden something happens and I get triggered, maybe spending 10, 15 minutes with me on the phone or on Zoom can help me figure out where that trigger started so I can choose to short circuit it a little bit. Does that make sense? Like how many of you don't like to speak or don't like to raise your hand? And it might have just been first grade. You raised your hand, you said something, everybody laughed at you, and then all of a sudden you're like, nope, not going to raise my hand anymore. Now it's 30 years later, and you don't ask for anything. Especially you people pleasers, the ones that are helping everybody, waiting for others to help you, and the help is never coming because you never ask. It's just a program. This is a chemical computer, and I could totally help you get out of it. All right, enough talking. Yeah. Oh, this is my gorgeous wifey. Microphone? Okay.
Can you hear me back there?
That's a fake microphone, I think so. Okay.
Well, as a recovering people pleaser, I could also say that that's a state where you operate. You're already so programmed. You're already on win-lose, and you're always losing. You're already used to it, so you don't even bother to win. You're like, yeah, you automatically put yourself in losing the whole time. You don't even realize it. And that's why it's so tough sometimes. You just accept it. You accept that life is this way, accept that people treat you this way. And it's not like that at all. You can choose to find another person, another place where it could be win-win. And it's just what I learned is just always fight for win-win. Because you could stay win-lose, and that's okay, that's your choice. Just know that as a choice. And it might be super hard to get out of win-lose. Sometimes it can take years to get out of it, I'll tell you. It took me years to get out of win-lose. But little by little, started choosing win-win in my life. And it has improved so much. Just that one little concept, if you can also apply it to yourself.
Thank you, honey. Okay. By the way, also, win-win in relationships is magical. It's amazing if you can have a relationship that is squishy, gushy, loving, cuddling, you just look at each other for 30 seconds. And I have that right now because I've worked on myself for about 25 years of doing all different types of trauma release and getting all the lies out of my system about you're not lovable, you're not this, you're not that. And I worked it out, I cried it out, I went to RAID seminars, I've done a bunch of stuff. And the more stuff that you release, is the more stuff you have is gone, so you have access to it. Like also, there's a child, and if there's a kid going, and the child's now they're not having a fit, they're having an emotional experience. How many of you automatically run to that kid? But what happened? But what do the other kids do? Like that video I was showing with the dog. If there was really a problem with the kid, where would the dog be? Right there. But he walked by, he's like, I ain't buying this, so I'm getting a treat. You know, whatever, he just walks by. So with me, I don't even, when my kids are having emotional experiences, and I've watched teachers that they're like hovering over the kid. Calm down. The kid's like, and they're like, calm down, breathe in. There's a tour coming. I need this. Licensing's on the way. I need you, okay. Try this on, like you're trying on a dress or trying an article of clothing. If it doesn't fit, throw it out. Try on whenever you see a child going, you going to stop it or shut it down isn't you doing anything to benefit the child. Your inner child is crying. Your inner child is screaming. Your inner child doesn't like this, so you need to stop that as much as possible so you stop hurting. I'm not saying it's true, but just giving you things to consider. And then later on, I'll tell you about breathing buddies and how if a child's having an emotion experience, teach one of your alpha neurodivergent and one of your leader kids to go and handle it as opposed to you, right? Because think about it. Think about one of your kids that has emotional experiences. Do the other kids run up to them or do the other kids just walk around them going, that's Joey? And that's it. All right, enough talking. Yay. Where do you feel this right now? Yeah, ain't it nice? Take your tongue, put it behind the back of your bottom teeth. Your own tongue. Okay, good. Maybe you met somebody, who knows, it's a conference. Take your tongue, put it behind the back of your bottom teeth like this. Okay? I'm going to show you how to do cold breathing, give you a couple different types of breathing. Let's do the Princess Bride test just to make sure that your tongue is in the proper positioning. So with your tongue behind the back of your bottom teeth, like this, repeat after me. Ready? Wav. True love is a magical experience. Everyone say marriage. Okay, all right, so if you sounded like me, then you had the proper tongue positioning. Now, breathe in with your tongue behind the back of your bottom teeth. Breathe in like you're sucking air through a straw. Try it. And then breathe out. One more time. Back of your tongue behind the back of your bottom teeth. Breathe in like you're sucking hand through a straw. Out. What do you feel? How many of you feel like a cooling sensation? Yeah. So this type of breath work, and breath work is super important. Breath work can help you when you're in this fight, flight, freeze, or fawn, when you feel triggered, somebody cuts you off or whatever. Taking a breath or two will help you. But you have to choose it. Because if I tell you to take a breath, we all know how that's going to go, right? Imagine your significant other, whoever, you're just like upset, and they look at you and they say, honey, take a breath, you'll feel better. You immediately go, you're right. Let's continue. How about when they tell you relax? How many of you go, you're right, I'm going to put my feet up. I'm going to put my foot somewhere. Okay, whatever. Uh-huh. 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 That's all I know. I don't know. I want that job. Yeah. They can hear you. You're fine. You're loud. Uh-huh. Here comes the Christina Aguilera moment. What if you could stay in here for a lot longer? Yeah, you can. Just stay in this room all day. By the way, if you have anybody that's a director or one day you want to be an aspiring director, captain of the ship is tomorrow. Totally different stuff. Team building, partner activities, backflips, not except the backflips. All right, what's the difference between... Okay, so look here. Let's get a little closer. 9 seconds. This is 9 seconds. And this is 10 seconds. What's the difference between 9 seconds and 10 seconds? 1 second. Well, you're right. 9 seconds and 10 seconds is a difference of 1 second. Part 1 of behavior mastery is called a pattern interrupt. We've been doing pattern interrupts pretty much all the time.
In West Philadelphia, born and raised.
Shoot some b-ball outside the school. Started making trouble in my neighborhood. It's amazing what you find on Amazon for $20, right? The fan, I meant. Okay.
I was 25.
She was 25, nice. Yeah, they try to sneak the shipping in there. You know how they do that? It's this much, but shipping is 3 times the amount. What am I doing? I'm doing shtick. Okay, cool. So part 1 is called the pattern interrupt. I've been in classrooms. I've seen this teacher. Joey, 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 Joey. How many of you ever repeated a child's name over and over? What's the definition of doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result? And yeah, you're driving yourself insane, but this is what happens. Every time you go, Joey, Joey, every time he ignores you, he's right and he gets dopamine. Every single time you say, Joey, Joey, your brain goes, he's not listening. I'm right, I get dopamine. Everyone's having a dopamine party, nothing happens. By the way, how many of you have ever said to one of your kids, are you listening to me? Do you have your listening ears on? The kid looks at you so confused, like, you're this far away from me. I hear you. Why do you keep, like, do I need to get my, like, the kid's like, like, do I need to get my hearing checked? The kids are like, are you being a good listener? Kid's like, I hear you when I'm on the other side of the room while you're in that corner where the camera can't see you, while you're texting or whatever you're doing in the, whatever. I've seen a lot. Ever walk into a bathroom at your preschool, like, it's like vape just hit you? And they didn't share? Okay, it's Portland. I can say whatever I want, right? Exactly. Anybody try crack? Isn't crack legal here? I thought everything's legal here. It's propaganda, really? I'm gonna talk to Fred and Carrie about that. Okay, cool. Anybody just put on the Portlandia song and just drive back and forth on the bridges like we did yesterday? Okay, wow, we're just me. It's for tourists, exactly. Okay, cool. So, how many of you have somebody at home that doesn't listen to you? Now, is it that they don't listen to you, or they listen to you all the time because you follow them from room to room to room, saying the same thing over and over? Is it that they don't listen to you, or they listen to you all the time, they're just choosing not to do what you want them to do? Yeah, it's weird, right? How many of you grew up in a world where you had older people than you that thought when they say something, you do it without any resistance? Yeah, how'd that work? How many of you are super oppositional like I am? Okay, got it. All right, cool. So, instead of Joey, or one of these, like Billy, Susie, 1, 2, 3, eyes on me, everyone, let's go to the crisscross table. Come on, Jesse, what did I tell you? Stephanie, I like the way that you're going in here. Clean up. Anybody ever have a morning like that? Yeah. And it's like 9:40 on a Monday, and you're exhausted? I don't want that for you. So, pattern interrupts. Quick way to get someone's attention, just like the songs that we're doing. First pattern interrupt that I use all the time, it's something you use in preschools. How many of you sing songs? How many of you, if you had 25 kids in your class and all of a sudden, if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. See, you even clapped. The kids are paying attention. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O, and on the farm he had a... I heard a cow and a chicken. Okay, E-I-E-I-O, with a moo-moo here and a cluck-cluck there, here a moo, there a cluck. I don't really give up. Old MacDonald. By the way, if you heard an inappropriate word in your head, why did you offend yourself? When I say go, everybody just start singing any nursery rhyme for 5 seconds. Ready, set, go. Awesome. I love all the beautiful singing voices. Okay. Probably has to be the same song for it to sound good. All right. Awesome. So if I want to get my kids' attention and I don't feel like singing, I'll do a second pattern interrupt that I do. And I like to do accents. Like I'll look at my kids, I go, what are you doing? And they all look and say, hey, everybody pay attention to me. I do Scottish accents. I'll do some Australian. Like what other accents are we allowed to make fun of still? Australian. I throw another Barbie on the shrimp. Oh no, shrimp on the shrimp. Yeah, I mean anything. I grew up in Jersey. If I want to get my kids' attention, I'll just go, anybody want to get a cup of coffee? And whatever the kids are doing, they just look like, I don't know what's happening, but what's coffee? How many of you do accents or voices? Okay. How many of you do accents or voices in your classroom with your kids? How many of you do accents or voices with your friends at home? At 10 o'clock at night, had a little too much of drinky poo or whatever, and then all of a sudden you're having yourself a party, and you do it, but then Monday morning comes around and you become a teacher again. Who told you to be a teacher? No, teachers are like college professors. Teachers are like high school teachers. You know, like no fun. This is early childhood. Whoever told you to be a teacher, stop being a teacher, start being a clown. And then see how much better your classes go. Does that make sense? So I'd love for somebody that does an accent in their classroom to just start doing an accent now. Just feel free. Just raise your hand or just do it. Go. Do it again. Yeah, man. Is that Scottish? No, I'm kidding. I feel like some red stripe right now for some reason. But okay, so when I say go, everybody look at somebody right now and for 10 seconds have a conversation with them in a silly accent. By the way, it doesn't have to be a real accent. You can have a conversation, would you like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich? Whatever you want to do. 10 seconds, have a conversation in a different dialect or whatever, go. That didn't work. Okay, awesome. Third pattern interrupt that I use, and you'll see them in my videos, third pattern interrupt that I use, animal noises. If I want to get somebody's attention, I can show Billy, Joey, Susie, blah, 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 or I can just go, woof. When we go to the airport, if there was somebody walking, like this happened like 6 months ago, we're in the airport, somebody is on their phone and they're not paying attention, believe it or not. I know it's totally crazy, right? These 2-year young kids are nuts. No, I'm kidding. It was an adult. And then they're going, and they're getting closer, and they're getting closer, and she's kind of like watching, and as this guy's getting closer, I go, woof! And he looks up, he's going to, because he's half my size, so if we would have collided, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't have been the one that was moving. Right? So it would have been like bam, just like that. Okay, so ready? Any animal noises work. How many of you do animal noises? In your classroom, not in your private life. I'm not going to ask you about that. You're a furry? Hey, listen, whatever works for you. Okay, so I was teaching a yoga karate class, and there was a kid that was new, and we started doing elephant walks. We were walking on our hands and our feet like this, and then all of a sudden, I went, woo, like that. And one of the new kids went, that elephant noise sucked. Now, initially, my first trigger, the trigger's like, oh, and my brain's talking at me. How dare you? I'm an adult. I have a degree. I'm taller than you. And every other excuse your brain tells you why you shouldn't do win-win. And then my heart went, did you ever actually practice that elephant noise? I'm like, no. So I looked at him, and I'm like, you know what? You're right. I haven't practiced that. I'll come back next week, and I'll try it. And this kid looks at me like, what? Like, you actually heard me, acknowledged me, and now you're going to take my advice? I'm like, yeah, I'd rather take a 3-year-young's advice than like older people. Absolutely. So I learned how to do an elephant noise, and I invite you, implore, I don't even know what that means, just a fancy word. So I invite you to try it with me. How many of your brains already said, nope? Yeah. Got it. How's that working for you? Notice how oppositional you are. If I say up, you say. If I say left, you say. If I say stop, you say. Congratulations, you all have oppositional defiance disorder. Give yourselves a round of applause. Look how happy she is. Yeah, Hercules, Hercules. I said up. Everybody said down. Nobody said stairs. Nobody said yours. If you think about it, we're designed to be oppositional. You go into a store, the person that their job is to help you find something says, can I help you find this? You go, no, I'm good. And now all of a sudden, it's like pans out. You're at a super Walmart with 500 rows, and you have no idea. You have to call out. Ratio is going to be screwed up because you can't find your way back. So let's try the elephant noise, and then Miss Annabelle from the Academy Plus is going to talk to you for 30 seconds about the Behavior Mastery program that's already on the Academy Plus, little plug, and then we'll keep on going. So elephant noise. First of all, wet your lips. Your own lips, miss. Okay, thank you. Okay, now, pull them in like this, like you just took your dentures out. Winner, chicken dinner. That was awesome. So that's what it's supposed to sound like. And we'll see what happens in reality. Ready? So wet your lips, pull them in, press them down as hard as you can, and then blow air out of your mouth. Ready? Or just do it. Everyone look around the room. The people that did an elephant noise for the first time here, tried it, heard the noise come out of their mouth, and they're busting out laughing, and their faces are red. That's called joy and happiness. So I'm looking around, there's people, and then I'm looking around, and there's people like this. I'm fun with my kids. No, you're not. Stop lying. And I can help you be fun. Comedy's super easy. It's just creating a rhythm and then breaking the rhythm. 1, 2, 3, spaghetti. It's so easy. Comedy's so simple. A, B, C, D, chicken fingers. And then the kids go, ah, like that. All right, so now, for those of you unfortunate souls that had to listen to your brain and didn't let you try the elephant noise, let's try it now. But first, let's take our cold breath. Tongue behind the back of your bottom teeth. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more. Breathe in. Breathe out. Ask your brain real quick. I wonder what my next thought will be. And now that it's quiet, elephant noise. Ready? Set. Go. Awesome. Nice. Now wipe off the neck of the person in front of you. So here's my question. Did whatever choice you make, it's not about me, this is your workshop. Whatever choice you made, if you made the choice to do the elephant noise, did it benefit you? Yes. Okay, if you made, and now for the other people, if you made a choice not to do the elephant noise, did it benefit you? And that's it. I'm not going to tell you do this, do that. I don't care about making you right, making you wrong. If this works, try it. If it doesn't work, don't do it. It's that simple. Don't believe anything that I say. Now look at the shirt I'm wearing. What's wrong? I mean, whatever. You know, like, don't believe anything that I say. This is just opinions. But if something that I say makes a difference for you, awesome. If not, you laugh for an hour and a half, good for you. All right, 30 seconds, go. By the way, this microphone works.
I'm a loud talker. We are so excited to have Dr. Schwally here with us.
I'm not a doctor.
Mr. Schwally.
Sure.
Schwally.
Yeah.
The Doctor of Joy.
Sure.
The Doctor of Comedy.
Doctor of Thugonomics.
We're so
That's Sean
excited to have
Cena.
him joining us. If you guys are enjoying this session, which I'm sure you are because the elephant noises were fabulous, we have his Behavior Mastery Basics course on our Academy Plus. And I will be at the NHSA booth, and we can talk more about it. But I also just want to call out the speaker series that Ron did recently, our Tackling Challenging Behavior speaker series, which is available, the recordings are available on the NHSA website. We had thousands of children come and join us. Dr. B and Ron and lots of others did tons of these quick jaunts of just incredible knowledge. Available on the website, and we hope that you'll join us for these recordings, for our upcoming sessions, and learn more about building joy in your classroom, because that's what it's about. So thank you for being here. Thank you for your elephant noises. I'm really glad I got to experience that. So clap for you all. This is fabulous, and join us for more learning. All right,
Yay.
Thank you.
Let's hear it. How many of you know the words? Take on me, take me on, I'll be gone in a day or two. Listen. I didn't hear it either. Okay. Part one, pattern interrupt. Now you got the kids' attention. Woof. Hello, everybody. And they're all looking at you. You got 1 and 2 seconds. Next thing, pre-frame. Pre-frame is an over-the-top obnoxious hint as what I want the children to do without giving them an instruction, because we don't like to be told what to do. First pre-frame I use, that probably some of you already use, I like the way. How many of you have ever said that to your kids? Everybody's sitting down, all of a sudden you go, I like the way you're standing by the door to go outside. I like the, what happens? All the kids. They just all go. But now watch the beauty of human. Ready? I like the way you're sitting up straight. 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 Oh, hello. I like the way that you're sitting up straight. Okay, how many of you knew what I wanted you to do? How many of you knew I wanted you to sit up straight? Call yourself about to sit up straight and made a powerful choice. I'm not sitting up straight. Yeah, and I know your inner child's like, yeah, that was neat. And you wonder why your kids are spiteful. Because you're the same thing. If you just, instead of living in the imaginary world of your voice in your head going, these children are going to do what I tell them because I'm an adult and I'm taller, I have a degree. Yeah, it doesn't matter how's that working. But if you pre-frame them, if you give them hints as to what you want them to do, if I go, woof, I like the way you're sitting crisscross applesauce. Nobody's sitting crisscross. All the kids are sitting crisscross. I like the way. Can we close that door? Thank you. Second pre-frame. Auditory pre-frame. Is my favorite TV show Young Sheldon, or is my favorite TV show America's Got Talent? How'd you know? How many of you wanted to say Young Sheldon, though, to be oppositional? Okay, cool, awesome. All right, are you doing that because you don't like that show? Okay, cool, awesome. Anybody have an opinion here? How many of you have opinions, meet other people that have different opinions, and you choose, instead of going, great, let's agree to disagree, you actually stop, tell them your opinion on that thing when you were never asked, and then spend time in your life trying to get them to change their opinion. How many of you have taken your energy trying to change one kid's opinion? How many of you have taken 10 minutes to change a human's opinion? An hour, a week, your whole marriage? How's that working? All right, third pre-frame. Oh, by the way, so what if I have the kids and I go, oh, and I go, do I want you playing with your toys right now, or do I want you cleaning up? I like the way you're cleaning up. What do I want you to do? It's obvious, okay? Third pre-frame, visual pre-frame. Is my favorite food Italian food, or is my favorite food Ethiopian food? How do you know? Because I'm nodding my head. So do I want you lining up to go outside, or do I want you washing your hands for snack? Yeah, so it's that simple. But if you introduce all of it together, imagine if it's time to, let's say all this, you're playing with your kids and you're having a good time, and now it's time to come on, everybody, let's clean up. I like the way you're putting your toys away. I like the way you're putting your toys away. Do I want you running around or putting your toys away? Do you see how easy it is? And you can do that. Another day you can choose to go back to barking commands. The next day you can do pre-frames and pattern interrupts. It's whatever you want. So let's watch a video of actual preschool kids. Okay, so this over here is Liam. He's my king, because the next thing we're going to start talking about is your alpha neurodivergent kings and queens of your classroom and how to get them to help you run the class the way you want. How many of you with your kings and queens are already running the class the way that they want? How many of you have a king? Anybody have like a Joffrey? Or one of those, you know what I'm talking about? Like, or like a boy that he's in charge of everybody, like a mafia don. It's like, Joey didn't make a payment, go break his crayons. How many of you have like a Jennifer, like a Caitlyn, like the queen? You're not invited to your own birthday party. And you're like, I didn't get an invite either. I guess we're going to crash it. You want to be Owen Wilson or you want to, okay. So this is King Liam. He is the king of the class. This kid is so smart. So smart. Quicker, faster, sharper, smart, loves getting teachers' faces red. There was one teacher, he loved to push her buttons so much because she presented buttons to him. See, you say that there's kids that push your buttons, but unless you actually put a button up there, there's no buttons to push. But if you have a kid that goes, I don't love you, and you're like, well, it's okay that you don't love me, I love you. You try to love me tomorrow. What center do you want to go to? It's done, it's squashed. But if you're a teacher that has trauma, believes that they're not lovable because something happened at 3 years young, and the kid goes, I don't love you, and the teacher goes, oh, how do you say that? You're so rude, you're so disrespectful. And that kid's like, oh, I'm going to tell my second grade brother this really works. Let me go around and tell the other teachers. Nobody pushes your buttons because you're the ones that create them. Somebody show me your buttons right now. Your belly button doesn't count, miss. Just want to let you know. Okay. So this is King Liam. By the way, would you rather me be educating you or entertaining you? Just think about that next time you walk into your classroom. Okay. This is King Liam. This over here is Queen Caitlyn. This kid is 3. When she was 2, I was having amazing conversations. I'll introduce you to another brilliant, super genius child named Sienna in a little bit. All right? So first thing I do, what was the first thing I did? Oh, easy. We're going crazy. Yeah, woof. I need to make sure all the kids are paying attention. Every 5 seconds, something else could happen. So if you don't pattern interrupt to make sure your kids are paying attention, and then how many of you start talking at your kids, you don't even know if they're paying attention to you or not. And then when they don't do what you want them to do, you're triggered to get upset at them. And you did nothing to get their attention. Got it. So you're choosing win-lose. So next time you get to choose win-win. One more time. So I like the way that you're standing. I like the way that you're standing off of the job. Ready? So that was the pre-frame. I like the way that they're standing. I mean, they're already standing. It's easy. By the way, my lower back's a little tight because this is 40 degrees less than we're used to because we're from Florida. So, So that's why I'm doing some sciatic stretching to loosen up my lower back, which is all on the online. I just put my leg up like this and stretch. But anyway, now watch. I changed the pre-frame. Okay.
You're short.
Now, you're short.
Do I want you standing now or do I want you sitting?
Who's already on her way down? Caitlin picked up the pre-frame. Listen, how many of you lie to yourself and say all kids are the same? How many of you lie to yourself because you want to be politically correct and go, all my kids are the same and none are different? How many of you lie to yourself and say you love all your kids at home the same? And you really know you have your favorite. And that favorite's the one that, some of you are like going like this and some of you are going, yeah, it's the one that's like me the most. Okay. So now Caitlin's already on her way down. Now all the kids immediately, they look at her because she's the queen and she does the first movement.
I like the way Caitlin's sitting.
Now, automatically what happens? It took half a second. Everyone's going. Now notice here, King Liam over here, he will not sit unless I acknowledge him. Any wrestling fans out there? Okay, this kid's like a Roman Reigns. I'll put it that way. Acknowledge me. Ready? Watch Liam. I'm going to back it up a little bit. By the way, all these videos too, they're on our YouTube channel for free if you want to share these with people.
I like the way Caitlin's sitting. I like the way Liam's sitting.
You saw that, right? Until I said his name, until I acknowledged him, say my name, say my name. He's waiting. He's like, dude, if you don't say my name, I ain't doing what you want me to do.
The way Caitlin's sitting. I like the way Liam's sitting. I like the way that...
You saw that, right? Okay, cool. Let's take a little moment and ask yourself in your head, how should Liam be? Yeah, great. See how fast. She said it out loud. How should? How many of you have ever created an expectation for another human being? Never shared the expectation with them. And when they don't fulfill the expectation, they know nothing about. Who do you get upset at? Them. That is one of the worst programs and the sucker of joy. 100%. He should be this way. How many of you have parents that have expectations for you to teach the kids respect, discipline, and the rules, and then what? They're going to show up magically at the house like the two kids like from like Mary Poppins, like, hello mother, hello father, may I do the chores extra today? I'd like to pour you a glass of wine. That's crazy. So we have, let me try something. Nice. Okay. So part one, pattern interrupt, we did a bunch of those. Part two, pre-frame, I like the way. Do I want you running or do I want you sitting? And it's a clue. So now, let's go back to, I like the way that you're cleaning up your toys. I love the way that you're helping. Thank you so much. And now, right in front of me is Liam with his toys going like this. And I go, Liam! I love this kid. I love kids that are oppositional. I love kids that are defiant. I love kids that don't follow orders. I love kids that don't follow directions. I love kids that don't conform, because I'm like that. Anybody else that's a follower, nothing wrong with it, not my cup of tea. So if you're a follower and you have a leader in your classroom, you may not like that at all. If you're a leader, do you get what I'm saying? So you can play win-win. And by the way, too, again, free coaching from me until I'm off this planet to help you make a difference for these kids so they can make a difference for the planet. All right? So Liam's over here, and I go, Liam! Wow, it's a nice echo. Liam, do I want you still playing with your toys, or do I want you cleaning up? Jennifer, I like the way that you're cleaning up. Isabel, I love the way you're helping Kyla clean up. And then Liam's over here like this. And I look at him again, I'm like, Liam! Do I want you in front of me playing, or do I want you cleaning up? And he looks at me like this, and he gets a smile on his face because he's about to tell me the wrong thing on purpose. Anybody ever have that? And he goes like this. He's like, you want me playing with my toys? And then he gets a big smile because his brain goes, now make the face. Right? How many of you make faces at your kids and think it does something? How many of you have the surprise, the fake surprise look? Miss Susie's so surprised that you're doing that behavior that you do actually every hour on the hour for the last 3 months. Now that I really think about it and you get all my attention, I fall for it every time, but it's okay. You should just stop. How's that working? It doesn't. By the way, should. That's an expectation. How many of you have expectations for the parents of your kids? Expectations like they're going to pick their kids up on time. How's that working? Expectations are not going to walk in late with a fresh cup of coffee because you know they could have been on time, but they stopped. Yeah, because you have an expectation. So should is what we say or think when we like to set ourselves up for upset. Should is what we say or think. I would love to borrow somebody in the audience real quick right now just to have a 1-minute conversation so that you can have some happiness. Anybody? Okay, cool. This won't read. Oh, okay. Hello? I guess it needs power. Fine. All right, so think about one human being in your life that you have an expectation for. Okay? Say their first name or pronoun, the word should, and the expectation you have for them out loud. Ready, set, go.
Amalia should get dressed.
Got it. So did you hear that? Okay, what would you say the emotion is behind that? Or what would you say when you say it? What's the emotion?
Irritated.
Irritated, okay? How many of you have that, trying to tell somebody to get dressed? Okay, cool. Now, say the same sentence, a little bit louder so everyone can hear. Take out the word should, put the word could in there. Ready, set, go.
Amalia could get dressed.
Same emotion or different?
Different.
Okay, what do you feel? Did you feel anything in your body shift or change?
I feel like there's more of it's on like it's not an expectation. Like,
Okay.
She could do it if she wants right now, or we could wait. It's not a big deal.
And the emotion is, she could, it's not a big deal. Right. And did you feel anything shift? If I say something and it doesn't resonate, fine. Did you feel a lightness? Did you feel relief? Did you feel heavier?
A little bit of more of a lightness.
A little bit of...
It's less of expectation.
So what happens is, and this is what works for everybody, her lightness that she felt and the joy that came on her face was what she did to herself. She alleviated herself of the expectation that she put on that other person, and then the heaviness is gone. When the moment you look at somebody and go, he should be this way, she should be this way, you create an expectation for that person. They don't have anything to do with it. All the heaviness comes on you, and you spend 10, 20, 30 years being upset, waiting for them to change. How's that working? It's not. Yeah.
I understand what you say, like how you say it, but how about if your co-worker, you want to be in a time, you are in a, like, you all time you give the children more time to do it. You give them, like, they expect from you, like, you need to be in a schedule. We are already late, we cannot do this now.
Who's saying this to you?
Like, your assistant or your call leader, like when you...
Okay. Who can you control?
I am lead, like, I am.
Okay. But can you control anybody else? How many of you even lie to yourself and say you can control yourself? And you've eaten way too many carbs the last day or two. Or donuts. We went to Voodoo Donuts. We had 5 donuts. Yes. Oh, we spent 3 hours just going through these. And I know there's questions, but I got to get through this. Usually this is 2.5. So remember your question. Write it down. My email address is ron@ronspeak.com. If you have a question, email me right now, or let your brain sabotage you by saying I'll remember. And ask me afterwards. I'm going to hang out for like 20 minutes or a half hour until they kick me out. Okay, but I also have 22 minutes to get through about an hour's worth of stuff. Okay, so what do I do with Liam? Liam's looking at me, so what I do is part 3 called the power look. I'll pause for a moment so your brain can be right. How many of you, your brain already said, I do that, but I never taken my course? How many of you said, oh, I do that, it's the mother's look? Notice how your brain just loves to be right. It's okay, there's nothing wrong with it. But if you're open to just considering you don't know everything, I know, you may actually learn more stuff. Does that make sense? Okay, cool. So this is the power look. First of all, I look at a couple of kids doing what they're supposed to be doing. So we're playing the cleanup, and they're cleaning up, and I go, I love the way that you're helping your friends. I love the way you're helping your friends. As Liam is standing right over here, so let's say Liam's right there, so I'll go, great job being a helper. Great job being a helper. You're doing such a fantastic job following my directions. I really appreciate what you... Do I want you still playing with your toys, or do I want you cleaning up? What's the expression on my face? Watch, ready? I want to give somebody a power look. All right, cool. Ready, set, go. What's the expression on my face? So I'm looking at this gentleman, but I'm not looking at him. I'm looking at his Yankees cap. Because when you give the power look, you don't look at the eyes. Don't look at the eyes. Look at the top of the forehead. Kids are too cute and they know it. How many of you have had a kid come in and they're super cute and you're like, oh, you're so adorable. And the kid's like, cute, cute. Oh, that's what the other teacher said. That let me get away with everything. Right? Like ugly kids have to work so much harder in life to... Why did you get triggered? There's no ugly kids in here, are there? No. See, oh, you felt that. How many people just bailed on the workshop right there? It's okay, you chose to do that. So when you do the power look, 2 things. Part 1, top of the forehead. Part 2, sing row, row, row your boat to yourself in your head. Because I've been doing this 15, 20 years, I don't trust my inner dialogue. You're at a workshop, you're at their Head Start conference, blah, 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 it's not gonna work, you don't know, they're judging you, imposter syndrome, blah, blah, blah. So what I do is, I go, whoof, I get the kids' attention, and then I give them the power look when they're doing something I don't want them to do. Again, top of the forehead, and Sing row, row your boat so your face goes blank. This is all this, these are micro expressions. When your face gets emotionless, then the kids can't read you. So would you rather would you rather be saying, I appreciate you participating, thank you, or, see, what would you rather have? Let me show you the power look. In action. Wait, hold on, I got a bunch of so many clips.
Do I want you sitting or do I want you standing?
What a surprise! King Liam is not doing what I want him to do. There's teachers that actually get mad at him all the time for not doing what he, like how many of you still in your brain think that kids are going to do what you tell them to do because you're taller, you have a degree, or you've been on this planet long enough? And how's it working? This child doesn't know where he graduated from. Google. University of YouTube, best college out there. Cheap too. And you still learn all the information. Well, actually, you learn real life information.
Do I want you sitting or do I want you standing? Awesome. So let's
Watch Liam look around the teacher taking pictures to make sure his eyes are always focused on me. He's choosing to do what I don't want him to do. I love it.
You're standing. I like the way you're standing. I like the way you.
Now, I'm going to give him the power look. Watch the power look. Watch my face. And then when Liam puts both of his feet on the spot, what happens to my face?
You're standing. I like the way you're standing.
You see it? It's that simple. Human behavior is a wonderful thing. Somebody messes up your meal at the drive-thru. Did I ask for 1 ketchup packet or did I ask for 10 ketchup packets? It's not your ketchup. How many of you have like ketchup hoarder packets? Okay. Go listen to Jim Gaffigan. He's got 10 minutes on ketchup. Okay, one more time. Ketchup.
Still talking about ketchup.
He's still talking about ketchup.
I like the way you're standing.
Oh, by the way, also, did you see, this is Aiden. He goes, and me. See, there's kids that actually will ask for attention. How many of you stop your class at every hour and go, who wants attention? I do. I'll stop my class. Who wants attention? We'll do it for 30 seconds, 45 seconds. It's over. They get a dopamine rush. They're good too. Everyone look at Sienna. Everyone look at Joey. And we look at them like that and they do something. Some kids need to perform. They want to be seen. They want to be heard.
Especially when they're like really riled up for whatever reason, like if they're like talking gossip, I don't know, whatever they're talking about, whoever.
Louder,
When we
louder.
do that, it really works. They're like, oh, me, and they're back on us instead of whatever they were doing before. And it just takes a couple seconds. It's even taken, we discovered a comedian who started just throwing out jokes to us. We're like, okay.
Yeah, we had 6 kids in the class. All the other kids, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? What do you want to do?
Each other too, they'll do the same thing.
Yep. But this kid went, he's like, no. He's like, knock, knock. And I'm like, oh, cool. Who's there? And he goes, boo. And I go, boo-hoo. And he goes, don't cry. It's only a joke. And I laugh out loud. Knock, knock. Ach. Bless you. You guys are going to try that stuff later. It's all good. Okay, so now we have Liam. Brilliant, genius kid, going to change the planet. The other kids, the 90%, the followers, that's fine. They're going to get jobs. Nothing wrong with that. Okay? But these kids aren't destined for jobs. These kids are destined for greatness. So what happens is you're going to have kids that have talent and amazing skills. Anybody watch America's Got Talent or any of the other Got Talents? So this is South Africa's Got Talent for about 7 or 8 years ago. Okay, this is DJ Fresh. His name is Arch Jr. He not only got past the judges on this, he won. He's the youngest Got Talent winner on the planet. He went through all the rounds. He won at 3 years young. This kid is a DJ. What if one of your kids said, I want to be a DJ? Now listen to your brain. How many of you went great? How many of your brains poo-pooed it? I had a teacher who goes, you can't make money being a DJ, because her brain goes, DJ is a bar mitzvah person. I'm like, look up a DJ with a mouse on his head, look up a DJ with a marshmallow, and tell me any doctor, lawyer, or accountant that makes millions of dollars like these people do. But she was too busy being right. Here's my parenting training for you. 2 questions you ask your kids. Two things you say to your kids. I love you, how can I support you? Anything else is just you with your own stuff. And again, the more you have your kids want to be like you instead of be like them, good luck when they have some freedom. And then good luck when they're calling you downstairs from the basement asking you for another pie. Hour and a half workshops are so fast.
Okay. Tell us about Arch Jr.
Well, Arch Jr. is South Africa's youngest DJ. He basically started DJing at the age of 1. As a DJ! That's when we discovered that he had love for music.
So he's 2 now?
He just turned 3 a month.
Just turned 3.
Oh, he's 3, yeah. Understandable, man.
Alright, DJ Arch Jr., let's see what you got.
Watch the crowd's reaction to this child. He's listening. One ear listens to the music, the other ear listens to the crowd. Who did he look at immediately? Immediately. So the golden buzzer, for those of you that don't watch these shows, every judge gets one golden buzzer a season, and when they see an act or a performance that's amazing, they hit the golden buzzer and they get fast forwarded a couple of rounds to the live shows. Oh, it's so cool. I will sit for hours and just watch like golden buzzers and auditions and things like that. Okay, so now you have your Liams that still have these gifts and these talents. These kids that need to be seen, they need to be heard. They're talking faster, quicker, sharper. You can tell they're neurodivergent. You don't need to have an IEP or AP or DOGG or whatever to get from them. You just know this kid's special, this kid's different. So what I do is I create a unique positive reinforcer for my alphas. I create a unique positive reinforcer for the leaders of the classroom. What is a unique positive reinforcer? Well, it's a show that they get to perform every single day based on what they love. If you ask most of your kids, what's your favorite dinosaur? What would they say? T-Rex. But if you ask me or you ask Liam, he might go, do you mean omnivore, herbivore, or carnivore? Do you mean the flying pterodactyl, the four-legged ones with the long tail and the long neck like the brachiosaurus and the brontosaurus? Do you mean the tyrannosaurus, its smaller cousin, the allosaurus? What about the velociraptor? You're probably talking about the stegosaurus with the spikes on its tail or the ankylosaurus with the plate. Do you think I like dinosaurs? Absolutely. Do you think my parents ever asked me? No. They're too stuck in their programming, go to college, become a manager of a business, and be safe. That's their programming. I totally understand it. Same thing, dream killer in my high school. Sorry, you guys call them guidance counselors. Didn't ask, didn't care. I want to be a pro wrestler. How about go to college? Did you talk to my mom? I'm like, okay, another adult I can never trust ever again. Agenda. Okay? I've never met a guidance counselor that first choice was to be a guidance counselor. It might have been a person that didn't pursue their dreams and went, I'm going to shut this down as much as I possibly can, and other people. There are people like that because they didn't pursue their dream because they believed an adult that didn't pursue their dream. So what we do is called a unique positive reinforcer. So this is one of our kids, Alex, and there's a full 6-minute video of him hold on a second. There's a full 6-minute video of him when we first started, super oppositional, didn't want to get involved. By the end of it, we have a video of him doing his board breaking and participating, became the alpha leader of the classroom, helping out. But there was a new rug put in, because you know how often they clean the rugs. And this, all of a sudden, he starts talking about, I didn't know how to engage him, and all of a sudden he starts talking about all the different construction vehicles. And I went, oh, I'm like, come here, videotape this. And now he has a unique positive reinforcer that he can tell everybody about. I want to see how good you are at noticing what these vehicles are.
And then if there's things that you want to teach us about, I'll let you do it on another day, okay? So Alex, all these different things on the floor, I don't know what they are. So if I point to them, can you tell me what they are? Okay, so ready? And can you say it really loud? Okay, what's that? A crane. Wow, okay. And you can stand closer. And ready? And what is this? A mixer truck. Wow, what is this? Excavator. Everybody say excavator.
Excavator!
Okay, what is this? A what? A dump truck? Everyone say dump truck. Okay, well what's this?
All right, so he keeps on going. Due to time, I don't want to keep on going, but there's a whole nother minute of it. So he's awesome. So what you do is you take your kings and queens, their favorite thing to talk about, and you give them a show. You give them 5 or 10 minutes. Here's a microphone. Here's this. There's cheap microphones. I got like these from Amazon, like 20 of them for like $5. They're super plastic. You give them a microphone. You let them talk about whatever they want to talk about. When it's time for centers, any of those kids go around destroying other people's centers? Yeah, because how dare you not pay attention to them? It's that simple. That's how I am. You don't pay attention to me, I'm going to figure out a way how to get you to pay attention to me, because that's just the way I am. Because my trauma from my past, I didn't get attention, so I'm going to figure out a way. I'm running in a loop. I'm running in a pattern. I know it. I work on it. Doesn't benefit me when it comes to, being like this. So these kids need their own show. Let them have their own center. If there's a kid that loves to talk about trains, loves to talk about spaceships, loves to talk about dresses, whatever, give them their own show and then make that their own center. Now there's 6 other kids going to different centers. This kid has nobody at their center. They got to figure out a way how to get somebody. They got to do marketing. They got to do advertising. They got to do all these different things to get, right? I mean, just depends your perspective. If you're a drug dealer in life, you're still a business person. You're just on the wrong side of the law, right? But you still have to do the same exact stuff. Okay. All right, I'm going to show you, there's so many videos I want to show you, but this is usually like a 3-hour thing. All right, let me show you part 5. This is called fast forward testing. So part 1, pattern interrupt, part 2, pre-frame, part 3, power look, part 4, unique positive reinforcer. You get them to do all the behavior, all the things that you want them to do because they want to do their show. And then you sit the child down, you say, did you have fun? Liam, did you have fun doing your dinosaur show? Uh-huh. Do you want to do it every single day? Uh-huh. Then all you have to do is, on the day that you want to do the dinosaur show, all you have to do is be a breathing buddy. Go up, if one of your kids is having an emotional experience, go up to your friend, put your hand on their shoulder, say, I'm going to breathe with you. They do a couple of breaths. The kid over here is going, but after 3 or 4 or 5, they calm down. Their energy flows back and forth. They did it. They can be a leadership. Give them a leadership responsibility, not something off the Velcro board that everybody has. Something unique to them because these kids are unique. And then what they'll do is they'll come up to you and be like, I was the breathing buddy. Do I get my show? I was the breathing buddy. Do I get my show? And you give them the show. But fast forward testing works a little different. Fast forward testing, the last part, is to give a consequence to the kids so that you can get the testing over with. How many of you give a consequence and you know you can't follow through? And then you're like, please don't test me, please don't test me. So what I do is I go to Liam, I'm like, on the days that you want to do your show, all you have to do is be a breathing buddy or do this or do that. On the day you don't want to do your show, all you have to do is interrupt somebody that's talking or throw a fake fit. Those are his 2 behaviors. So then what's going to happen is I'll go, and if you don't believe me, go ahead and interrupt one of your friends. Then I'll go, Susie, tell me a story. Susie says, my mom took me in the thing, and we went on a shopping spree, and we got shoes. Now Liam is going to go like this because he's triggered to do the thing that he always wants to do. But now his brain does the reprogramming. That's how this works. He looks up and to the right. He makes a video in his head. To you, it's going to look like up and to the left. He makes a video of himself doing what he wants to do, throwing a fake fit, or interrupting one of the kids, and then he doesn't get his show. He understands he's choosing not to get his show. Then he'll look at you, and he'll either freeze, He won't do the action that's going to get him to break the rules. He'll either look at you and freeze, or he's going to go like this. Because what happens is his brain reprograms and goes, you're not going to trick me into not getting my show. I'm going to show you. I'm not going to throw a fake fit again. I'm not going to interrupt my friends again. Because for the first time, Liam is actually choosing to change his behavior because he wants to. Does that make sense? Yeah. All right. This is fast forward testing. By the way, if you fill out your evaluation and you drop them off up here, we got some fun stuff for you to do. If you want some googly eyes, we have a bunch of different scented. We're not done yet. We have all these different scented stamps up here, lime and apple. You can give yourself a stamp on your neck, whatever you want to do. This is Portland. So anyway, just letting you know. All right, cool. And we're going to go about 5 minutes over, but you don't have to stay. You can leave. But the last video is really awesome, and this is the second last video. Okay, go. Yeah, did I say fill out the evaluation form? Yeah, fill out the evaluation form, and if you want us to email you all this stuff, make sure that the email that you write down is something that we can read, not something that just you can read.
Ready? A shapeless circle.
So this is us doing yogarati. We're doing our sun salutation. You see this little genius over here? So that's Sienna. She's 2. She's spinning around and spinning around and spinning around. Now, I don't care because she's spinning. It's not bothering me. How many of you have kids that move around all the time? As long as they're not hurting anyone, they're not falling on anyone, let them do it. She's still spinning. Boom. So now I stop it because she fell on one of the other kids. And what I say to her is, if you spin around again, you're going inside. If you don't believe me, spin around again and I'll show you. You heard that? Okay, good.
If you spin around, you're going inside.
Now watch what this brilliant child does. She puts her hand on her chin and watch. Now your brains are going, she's not going to spin around. She's not going to blah, blah, blah. Ooh. Oh, yeah. Thinking, thinking, thinking. How great is that? I love it. I love that she chose to test me and break the rule. That's awesome. All right, so now I bring her inside. And then Isabel's my queen. All right. All right, that was so cute. All right, last video, and then